Hi guys, welcome back to the channel here. A very different video from me. Typically I run a lot of Halo Infinite Campaign Forge custom creations, so if you're looking for some solo player or some co-op type campaign-esque DLC type maps to play on, hit that subscribe button because I pump out 2, 3, 4 a week sometimes, and I will continue to do so. But today's video is very different. We are looking at our first kind of deep-ish look at Halo Flashpoint. Now, as you can see from my B-roll footage here, I haven't obviously edited the video, so I don't know what I'm going to be showing you yet, but you can see I've got a little Halo collection coming along. Now, I don't play a lot of tabletop games. I'm a big board game lover, and I've played a few rounds of Warhammer. I've got friends that have got thousands of pounds worth of Warhammer, and as soon as I saw this, I've already bought it. I've already pre-ordered it without even seeing there's a video with actually goes into detail that we'll go through some of the key points on shortly. But I pre-ordered this as soon as I could see. It's literally the Deluxe Spartan version is only £100. We'll get into all those details shortly. But I am blown away by how good and how awesome this looks. Now the game itself is I know I've mentioned Warhammer, it's nothing like Warhammer. It's made by a company called Mantic Games. Now, as I'm not a big tabletop guy, don't know anything about them. They are quite popular though with a game they've made called Deadzone, which essentially is what this is going to be. Halo's Flashpoint is going to be based on. Looks like it will be the rule set of Deadzone mixed with some Halo updates, Halo themes, and then a twist on some of the rules, I'm sure. And I was a bit worried that this wouldn't be that popular because, as I say, don't know Mantic Games, don't know Deadzone at all. I followed them on Instagram since they teased that they were making a Halo tabletop, and I didn't see a huge amount of traffic on their Instagram. Looking at this Halo video that they've put up, that I share on the screen now, it's been up for 23 hours, 12,000 views, which is pretty awesome. Loads, hundreds of comments. I couldn't believe how many comments are here. So I'm very hopeful. They're all very positive as well. I'm very hopeful that this game is going to take off and we're going to get some awesome figures, because even if you don't want to play the tabletop game, you are going to be in for a treat with how awesome some of these figures look. Now let's do a deeper dive into what was discussed in this video in terms of how it will work, and also have a quick look at the sets that you can buy. Now, if you want to jump on this Halo Flashpoint train, you can go to the website. It's literally haloflashpoint.co and pre-order now. I believe they ship worldwide, although they are a UK-based company, which is great for me because I'm in the UK and it's hard enough just to get some of these figures that I've got, let alone a fully fledged tabletop game mode. So here we go. It's for 2 players. I guess you could do teams, and maybe in the future it will get bigger and bigger. 30 to 90 minutes, and I suppose that is the key aspect here, because sometimes when you try and play or watch some of those Warhammer matches and those bigger tabletop mode games, it can literally last 3-4 hours depending on the rule set they're using and the limits they place on themselves, and it's just way too long for me. I like board games, but I like to be in and out. 30 to 90 minutes is fantastic. Now, there is a little bit of lore behind this, as you can see here on the website. The year is 2560. Humanity was forced to the brink of extinction by the alien alliance known as the Covenant, and even in victory, many of our worlds were glassed and left in ruins. From the ashes of the Covenant War, a new generation of super soldiers has been trained in the war game simulation, pitting Spartan fire teams against an almost infinite combination of potential threats, including each other. Now, this is the first time we've seen that they are including elites here. Yes, they are banished version elites, and they do look pretty awesome. Now, when you get the sets, they are going to just be plastic pre-made models that you're going to have to paint yourself. Unfortunately, they won't look this good, and I will not be able to paint them this good either. But it is awesome that we are getting elites in this game mode. When the teasers were announced a few months ago, there was a lot of worry that it was just going to be Spartan versus Spartan, but elites are here. Let's look at the game modes that you can buy and what they're selling, and then we'll talk a little bit about the tiny bit of info we know about the rule set and how the game will work. So this is the version that I've gone out and purchased immediately. It drops in October, by the way, and it's obviously now end of March, so not too far away. Halo Flashpoint Spartan Edition is the £100 deluxe type model, and if you order it and you're one of the first 1,000 people, you'll get a free Master Chief figure, which is epic. I'll put the picture up here. Wow, he looks badass. Again, he's not going to be painted, but still really awesome. Hopefully he'll have his own little card of rule sets, and I guess you could get another Master Chief, but in the future, hopefully they'll make other popular characters. Maybe we'll get Atriox, maybe we'll get Escharum, and you can actually flesh this out, and it will be pretty awesome. So in this deluxe version, you get 16 Spartan models and the 4 banished elite models. I believe that's the only way you get the elite models is in this collection. You get the rulebook, the playmat, the terrain, which includes the playboard, which is double-sided. So we have this outdoors kind of War Games version, and then the inside UNSC type structure. Both look pretty cool. It's going to make it feel like you're playing on different fields, which is pretty epic. 20 weapon cards, which is really key. Now, I don't have a very close picture of this. Hopefully I have some footage from the video that has been released on the weapon cards. Now, it looks like it's going to work in how Halo multiplayer works on the computer, and that means you have your preset determined starting weapons that are actually different Spartan to Spartan. So as you can see here, I'm guessing these Spartans, you're going to actually have these weapons on you at the start of the game independently, rather than just a pistol and an AR. But as you then work your way through the map, you'll find that there are different areas that have power weapons, whether it be a sniper rifle or grav hammer or whatever, you know, all the key Halo special weapons. They're going to be key to controlling the game, just like it is in video game format. So that's awesome, and it sounds like with 20 of them you can have a real variety each different time you play this, and it's not going to get very repetitive, which is cool, because sometimes with Warhammer, for example, you do army to army. Unless you're spending hundreds and hundreds of pounds having different armies, you end up having the same kind of feel to each map, and you know what to expect. With this, with the power weapons being key, you can really get some diversity, which sounds awesome. 3 reference cards, which I'm not sure what they are. 12d8 dice and 8 command dice, which I think are just d6. And then you get your 3D arena accessories, which also look awesome. Can we zoom in here? Not the best pictures. I will probably put some of the video over this. But yeah, this is looking incredible. So in terms of game modes here, there's even more variety, because we are talking about the classic Halo game modes. I believe there's Slayer, there's going to be Oddball, there's going to be Capture the Flag, and I think there's some other objectives in here as well. So we've got a variety of rules to play against, or objectives to play against straight out the bat, and that is key Halo. It sounds like there's going to be more game modes in this Flashpoint than there was in Halo Infinite's multiplayer release, which is crazy. Now, one other key thing that they're saying here is this is not going to be like Warhammer again. I know I have to keep referencing that, but it's literally the only tabletop game I know. So apologies. I'm sure there are a lot of you out there that love tabletop games, but I'm very novice at that front. I don't know everything about it. But one thing I do get a bit annoyed about is the way you move in Warhammer, being with a ruler, tape measure, if you like. In this Halo, it sounds like a lot more simplified, and I want to see how it works in practice, but everything's on tiles. So you have these 3-inch tiles that you move around, whether you move up, down, left and right. Obviously, I don't even know if you can move diagonally, but they've all got their own vantage points. So you'll end up, the strategy around it, again, very much like Halo. If you've got the high ground and you're in cover, you'll end up getting an extra dice for your attack. If you're shooting against somebody that's out of cover and on the open arena, then you'll get an extra dice. If you're shooting against somebody that's maybe reinforced or behind cover, you'll lose a dice, or they have, you know, more or less dice depending on where they're playing. So there's a lot of little minute strategies that are going to go around moving around this tiled area, which I'm really intrigued by. I've never seen a game like this before. I'm sure there are. I know it's based off of one, so of course there are, but it is looking really exciting for me because it's simple, but you get a lot of strategy. So every model that you have has its own unique abilities. As I mentioned, they've all got their own starting weapons, but much more than that, there is other things here. As you can see on these cards, Spartan Mark 7 has Tactician labeled here, along with Energy Shield 2. Whereas the card they put down on top of that Spartan Deadeye actually doesn't have Tactician. He has Fast Transition. Still 2 shields, but then other stats here, I don't know what RA and FI mean, but they have different abilities as well. So it's going to be a lot of strategy involved in here, even though it's a simple game. Each unit has got very different abilities, I believe, and then obviously weapons being different, and then things you can pick up around the map, which again, I don't think there's pick up weapons in games like Warhammer. Maybe there is, but I'm not familiar with anything like that. It's going to be really interesting. So another thing that looks pretty awesome about this is the scenery. Now, I actually got a bit derailed here, and I was going through all the different sets, and I kind of got halfway through the main set and then moved on to talking about the actual game. So bear with me. We're going to go back to the sets that you can buy here. But one of the key things here is actually the terrain, and the terrain looks, one, it's very robust, quite thick cardboard here. But it's also two-sided, so again, adding a lot more variety. You can have literally, you're getting double your money's worth almost, in effect, because the terrain literally can be flipped inside and out and have a very different look and a very different feel. Now, obviously, we've had a very quick look at the Spartan edition. We'll quickly run through the Recon edition because this one is £40 less. But personally, you might as well get the Spartan edition. You get so much more for £40, and you're going to want all that extra stuff. In this version, Recon edition, you're losing out on some terrain, it looks like. You only get half the Spartans. You don't get any elites. It's really tricky because if you need something like this, if you really want something like this and you can't afford the £100, then obviously, yes, by all means, go for the 60, but it does feel like you're getting quite a lot less for that £60. Now, £40 is a lot of money, so I appreciate some people are gonna have to do that, but that £100, you could get that on finance now through their website. I'm not affiliated with them, I'm not a salesperson for them, but I think we've got many months here before the game actually comes out, so hopefully you could put a little bit aside each month and just get that £100 version with all the essentials. I think that is really an essential, the £100 version. Yes, you can probably have some good games with this Recon version, but you are missing out on quite a bit. You know, you're still going to have fun with this Recon set, but you're just losing a lot of variety with that other set. And of course, you're not going to get the MasterChief. Now, they are selling the MasterChief here in a very strange way. So you get 8 paints, and they are marketing it as a paint set. And there's only when you click into it, I thought 35 quid for 8 paints, that's pretty mad. Then when you click into it, you realise, oh, you get the MasterChief model here as well. You also get 2 game cards that I assume will be in the Spartan edition, I'm not entirely sure. But £35 for the MasterChief model, again, it just adds value to that £100 set. If you can get in on that and you're one of the first 1,000 people, you're effectively saving £35 because everybody's going to want MasterChief, surely. It is Halo after all. So on top of that, you can get a deluxe buildable 3D terrain set. Now, I was very on the edge about buying this because the terrain itself in this set looks way better. Now, I think it's still the same type of construction and thick cardboard that's slotting together, but I may be mistaken here. I need to see some more videos on it. I need to see better details. But for £80, that is, you know, a lot of money. It's more than the base Recon set of the whole game. So, I don't know. It just looks like it's maybe priced a bit poorly. I believe in Deadzone, Mantic's other game, they have a lot of different sets and a lot of different terrain and battlefields. And I think that it may actually be based off of one of those sets, reading some of the comments. And you might be able to buy it a bit cheaper in one of the other sets and then paint them, because although this deluxe set looks really good on the website, it comes unpainted, as it says right here. But again, I hope it sells, because then, you know, they're going to make more and more. Just running through the last things on their website. Dice boosters. Now, I believe you get all of this in the deluxe set, so I was on edge about maybe buying these because you're going to be playing 2-player at the very least. You both want your own dice ideally, but sharing dice isn't a big problem. £15 is a lot of money for dice, but these blue ones, which I guess are the command dice, are Very unique to Halo, obviously, as you can see by the patterns. Now, one other thing that I also considered was this one-player character set token, or character token set. So in this, you get respawn red and blue double-sided tokens, which I guess are these triangles. Wounds tokens times 8. I don't know which ones the wounds are, I don't know. Activation tokens times 4. Pinned crouch tokens times 4. Energy shield tokens times 12. Now, I don't know if all of this is already in the base Spartan set or the Recon set. I don't know if this is just an upgrade, because what it says is Deluxe acrylic token set allows you to upgrade your fireteam's tokens. So I think it's just better versions, maybe actually being plastic instead of cardboard, but I don't know. I'm hoping we don't need this, and they haven't really marketed it very well, if I'm being honest. So that's all the things we can buy so far. I'm hoping as we get nearer to release time, they maybe put out some teasers for other things that are coming or their plans. I'll be watching their YouTube video, which I'm going to subscribe to right now, very closely, because I will be releasing more videos on this as we get more details, and of course doing a review as soon as I get my hands on my Flashpoint Spartan set. Anyway, I'm sure I've missed some details, so I will link the video Mantic Games released on this in the description if you want to go and have a watch yourself. But let me know in the comments if you're excited for this. If you're already familiar with Mantic Games and play their other games, please let me know how you get on with those and what you're expecting from Flashpoint.